This video is part of a series intended to give an overview of the forms used by the American Red Cross in our shelter operations. The Shelter Opening and Closing Inspection Form is used to document the physical conditions at a shelter before we open and when we close. When the Red Cross opens a shelter, we do so in a facility owned and operated by somebody else, a school, a civic building, a church. The Red Cross usually has a signed facilities use agreement in place before the shelter is needed, but the facility must still be inspected before we admit any clients. Our representative, usually the shelter manager if the logistics facilities staffer can't be there, and a representative of the facility owner or operator must agree on the condition of everything we're going to use. When both parties have inspected the premises and signed the form, we're open for business, and we repeat the process when the shelter is ready to close. The shelter opening and closing inspection form may be 2 pages, or it may be printed on both sides, the opening on the front, the closing on the back. We'll start with the opening inspection form. At the top, the name of the facility, the address, the printed name of the facility representative, and a cell phone contact number. The object of the opening inspection is to identify any issues in the facility, the floors, the equipment, kitchen appliances, fire extinguishers, any issue for which the Red Cross could be held liable after the shelter closes. Take cell phone pictures of any issues and point the issues out to the representative. To simplify the process, the form has a list of 21 items that should be inspected. Place a check mark next to each item in one of 4 boxes. Yes, this item is fine, no problems. No, there are issues. Add a comment below. NA, not applicable. Add a comment below. U, unknown, and again, add a comment below. A box for notes and comments follows the list of 21 items. This is where you detail any problems. Here, add an explanation for any of the 21 checks that's not a yes. And be specific, please. If we see the issue and get a picture of it before we open the shelter, we won't have to pay for it afterwards. Finally, both the Red Cross and the facility representative sign and date the bottom of the opening inspection form. The Red Cross staffer doing the inspection should then place a copy in a secure location, preferably with the shelter manager's log, and submit the original to the logistics facilities staffer at HQ or district headquarters. When the shelter is closed, a Red Cross staffer and a representative of the facility will redo the inspection. The closing inspection form is either page 2 of the opening or it's on the back side of the opening inspection form. Start by filling in the name and address of the facility at the top and print the name and contact number of the facility representative. The closing form is somewhat less restrictive than the opening form in that there are no questions or check marks, just space for a description of what is found. An important note here, refer to the opening inspection form as you make the closing inspection, and pay special attention to anything that was not marked yes at opening. Take pictures again of these noted issues to make sure they haven't been made worse during the time we were there. One important note, please do not accept full responsibility on behalf of the Red Cross for an issue. Make a note of the problem and make sure the facility representative understands that Red Cross Logistics will be in touch. And again, take pictures. And finally, both the Red Cross and the facility representatives sign and date the bottom of the closing inspection form. Make a copy for the shelter records and submit the original to the logistics facilities staffer at HQ or district headquarters. The importance of this form can't be overstated. The Red Cross accepts full responsibility for any damage we do during the time we're in the facility. but we don't want to pay for a whole new gym floor because of a scratch that we didn't notice at opening. We don't open our doors to the first clients until the opening inspection is done and signed. And the last Red Cross staffer doesn't exit the building until the closing inspection is done and signed.